Hi Alexis, my name's Tenille. I'm a social worker here. Now, can you tell me why you came here today to see me?
Well, I've just been feeling a little bit stressed and overwhelmed about everything, and people always say it feels better to talk about it, so I'm taking the leap.
That's good that you've come here. That's a big step and you've taken it, so well done. Now, just before we start, is it alright if I take some notes? It's the agency's policy, but it's just so I get everything right and can report things right.
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Yeah.
Now, also, we've got a big policy about confidentiality at the moment, and it's really important to me that you feel comfortable talking to me. So everything you say to me is in between you and me, but there are shared files that can be viewed by doctors and everything like that. Now, also, I do have an obligation to report it if I see that there's going to be any potential risk for yourself or anyone else, but it's for your benefit, alright?
Sure, no worries.
No problem. Now, can you tell me a bit about your week and, how stress affects it?
Well, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
And so I've graduated a few years ago now, but the job market's been pretty tight in Adelaide.
Yeah.
So I've basically spent the last 3 years since I graduated looking for a job, and
oh wow,
I've only had about 3 interviews in the last 3 years.
Oh.
So that plays on my mind a little bit.
Yeah, I can imagine that can be quite stressful for you.
Yeah. And so I tutor at the uni that I used to go to and everything, and so that does give me some work, but it's not fulfilling at all. And it just...
So you'd prefer to be working in the field of, being a lawyer after studying for so many years?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of time and effort to put into something that at the moment is only getting me 10 or 12 hours a week's work, so it's not cutting it.
Yeah. So how often do you spend, weeks basically looking for a job, do you think?
Probably about once a week. I get multiple emails a week from things like Seek and Career One, and spend my time going through those and then going through the job sites.
So it's good that you're taking the steps like Seek and Career One and everything to actually look for a job.
Yeah.
So you haven't had any luck doing that?
There's been a few little bits and pieces, but mainly everybody is looking for you to have at least 5 years experience.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess that can be quite stressful for you in your week. Is there anything that you do or you find yourself doing that helps you relieve that stress a little bit?
Having a cry.
Having a cry
sometimes.
That's always a good thing.
That helps let out a bit of stress. I find myself snapping a lot. I snap when I...
With your friends or, your family?
My friends, my family, my partner.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Your partner?
Yeah.
What's your partner's name?
His name's Michael.
Yeah. And do you find that it's good having a partner when you are stressed a little bit that, he does understand?
Yeah, he does. He does understand. And he's beyond supportive, and he's lovely about it. I find it a little bit frustrating because he has a very... the universe will provide kind of attitude, and that doesn't really work for me, so I find that a little bit frustrating.
So you've got a little bit of a clash of...
Sometimes, yeah.
That must be hard for you guys. But it's great having a partner in those times that you can turn to, so I'm assuming that he is quite supportive when he is.
Yeah, he's lovely,
Yeah. Now, is there anyone that you turn to apart from your partner for support in these times? Because I know they can be quite stressful, and a lot of people have people to lean on, like your parents or something like that. Are you still living at home?
Yeah, still living at home, yeah. Mum's a pretty good support for me.
Yeah.
She's always looking through the government job sites.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, and always forwarding on emails with jobs and things like that. And so she does try really hard.
Oh,
and
that's great.
She's always been really good financially. If there's anything you ever need or anything like that, she's the first one to offer, and so that is helpful.
So she does support you a lot, and you feel supported by her?
Yeah, 90% of the time, definitely. But it's kind of the same thing as I have with Michael. It's as much as they say they understand, I'm not sure if they really do grasp it, but
And that's the thing, you're the only one that can understand how you're feeling, but it is good when other people can see where you're coming from and everything.
Yeah.
So do you feel that you can turn to your mum for support when you need it, like asking her for money and everything? Like, have you had to do that?
I have.
Which I'm assuming can be quite stressful for you, having to actually turn to someone for money.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I have had to do it, and I hate it. It tears me up inside having to ask, because I really don't feel that it's her position to support me anymore. Yeah. But she's never said no.
That's
so
great.
So it's nothing that she's done. It's how I feel, unfortunately. But
So ideally, where do you think you would be right now if you had your perfect situation? If I asked you a miracle question.
My perfect situation. Okay, so I'd be working. Yeah. I would have been working for at least a couple of years. I'd be loving my job.
Yeah.
Be moving out of home, if not have done it very shortly. My partner and I want to build a house eventually, and so it'd be lovely to know that in the bank account there was enough sitting there to be able to start that.
Don't we all feel like that?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but that would be the ideal situation, just to be working and to be using that knowledge. I just want to be able to use it. Yeah, definitely.
Now, have you tried going through any services or anything to find a job? Not just Seek or Career One, but some of the community sort of or government organisations that help people get jobs?
Nothing really specifically. The main reason being that, for instance, like the services connected to Centrelink and things like that, they're mainly targeting trying to get, how do I say this, unskilled labour. I haven't really had much satisfaction with finding people that will deal with the kind of career that I'm interested in. So I've found a few online recruitment agencies, and I've signed up to them, but nothing has come to fruition with those as of yet, unfortunately.
Okay. Have you done any volunteer work?
I have. Yeah.
How did you feel about that? Was it fulfilling for you? Or?
It was, because it was lovely to be able to use those skills. It really was, and know that I was capable of doing it, which was nice. But it does get to a point where you think, how much longer do I have to do this for before someone will realise I'm worth paying to do it? Yeah. But it was great to be able to have that opportunity to use them, and I still do that now. I do that for 2 days a week now. So
But you're still feeling as if it doesn't really lead anywhere, or
and that's the thing, is that I know at this particular firm that I'm at, they're after a fully fledged family lawyer to be able to deal with all of that stuff, and that's just not my interest.
So what is your interest?
My interest is government law.
Government law?
Yeah.
What would that entail?
Citizens dealing with government agencies, working for the government itself, doing contracts and things like that. So the Crown Solicitor's Office would be my ideal job, absolutely,
So I guess that would be pretty interesting, and
get a great variety of work.
That's great.
You never get bored.
That's good. That's what you need, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So what about your tutoring? How's that going?
It's going. It's good. It is. We're wrapping up the semester at the moment, which is nice. I've taken on a new subject this last semester, which I haven't taught before, and
so it's something that you're feeling good about doing, or was it a little bit nerve-wracking at the start?
It was.
You haven't done it.
It was nerve-wracking. I wasn't really sure what I was going to be expected to do. I found that it was quite poorly organised overall as well, which...
So that can be a little bit stressful for you as well.
It did cause some stress. Also, as lovely as the people I work with are, they are a little bit challenging.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, again, organisation is not their strong point, and I'm quite an organised person. And
so you're feeling a little bit of conflict there with your style and your teaching styles, obviously, as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And so that it's presented challenges. It's been good overall, but had its moments.
Alright, so I just want to get to the bottom of probably where your stress is coming from. So it looks as if that the fact that you are looking for a job and you are so qualified, obviously, it is very stressful for you, and I understand that. How about you tell me about your week, an average week for you, and the different things that may stress you out, and probably your downtime as well. So how much downtime you have and how many stressful moments you probably have.
Yep. Mondays is a down day for me. That's when I usually do most of my job hunting, is on a Monday.
Okay. So you're spending your relaxing time actually job hunting?
Unfortunately, yes. Right. So that takes the shine off of having a day off a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
But it has to be done. Tuesdays is a full day. I work at my voluntary position until about lunchtime, and then I head down and I teach 3 classes in the afternoon. So don't usually even get time for lunch on those days, so it's quite a long day.
So that's a bit of a stressful day for you.
Yeah, a little bit. Wednesdays comes as it goes kind of thing. I teach 1 class in the middle of the day, and that's about it.
Okay, yeah.
Thursdays is my day to do study. Okay. I also study, so.
Alright, so that's another big point there. You're trying to study while trying to job hunt, while working and volunteering.
Yes.
So you've got quite a lot on your plate there, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit. And then Friday is the same thing. I volunteer in the morning, and then at lunchtime I go down to the uni and teach a few classes there. So yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Alright. So do you know how important it is for you to have some downtime? You know, I know how stressful it must be trying to search for a job while trying to relax at the same time, which I'm sure it'd be a lot better for you. You know, you can take your shoes off and spend it at home, but still it's almost as if you're working.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you're not really giving yourself enough time to relax. Alright, so although that, you are spending it doing some job hunting, which is obviously your priority, so I give you a medal for that. You've got your priorities straight. You're trying to find a job.
Thank you.
But also, you know, you do have to allow yourself some downtime, you know, even if it is just going and having a hot bath with a cup of tea, you know, and reading a book. Yeah. I'm assuming you like reading. Yeah?
I do, but I must admit I don't think I've finished a book in about 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just...
Is that because you've been so stressed out with everything?
You just don't find the time to get absorbed into a good book anymore. Yes.
Exactly. No problem. Alright, well, I think next week, when we schedule your next appointment, we can probably talk about some ways for you to have some downtime. We can also probably do some research and get you linked up with some, maybe a bit of a higher up job recruiting service.
Okay, sure.
So we can try to get you some stuff. So we'll just add that to the agenda for next week.
Perfect.
Is there anything else you want to talk about for today?
No, I don't think so.
Are you happy with how today went?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Are you feeling better because you've actually talked about it?
I was, and I was feeling quite nervous coming in about having to open up. But
naturally, yeah.
But
no, that's great.
No, it was good.
I'm glad you're feeling so comfortable. We will schedule an appointment for next week as well. Is the same time okay for next week?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
That's great. All right, we've got a couple minutes left. All right. No problem. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
Thank you.